What is going on, everybody? This is your boy King Nappy. I am here with a review on a classic, Bad Boys. So yeah. Alright, so here we are in the opening scene. You got Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry. They're riding in his super small sports car. And he always got like these tiny sports cars as his vehicle. But as they're driving, Marcus dropped some fries. Mike was like, nah, dude, you finna get these fries. As they're pulling over, this car pulls behind them. And look at their car. Their car is nice. To me, I would take that car over this small sports car. Look at how dirty this scenery is, though. Like, what is this? It's so filthy back here. So they pull up and she hops out of the car. I guess she's supposed to be a distraction. My thing is this. There's nobody else on this street. If you pull up and she hops out the car immediately and they pull behind you as soon as you pull over, and then she comes in front of you and then walks in front of your car, come on, man. Like, that's the easiest. It's so easy to spot that that's the setup. Like, easy to spot. And then to top it all off, she looks like Michael Myers. Bro, look at her face. What is this matted wig on top of her head? Stop this. All right, so she walks off and these two immediately hop out the car. What does he have on, yo? Like, what is this outfit? How are you robbing anybody like this? And then where is she going? Like, I get it, she was a distraction, but you don't even have to fake go anywhere anymore. You can honestly just go back to the car. I don't understand. All right, so this was puzzling. So some kind of way they pulled up on them, pulled guns out on them and told them, get out the car. They both get out the car. Some kind of way Marcus was able to keep his milkshake in his hand while he got out and faked argue with Mike, turned around, threw the milkshake on the guy who had a gun trained on him. The milkshake distracted him. He kicked him in the nuts. He falls down, grabs his nuts, and Marcus was able to pull out a gun on him. Houseway. In real life, pull out a milkshake and somebody got a gun, you and that milkshake getting dropped. Of course, Mike, he was able to turn around, knock his guy out, and draw a gun on him, thus creating the opening. Bro, Miami hasn't been cleaned in like 3 weeks. This guy, one of the bad guys, is dressed up as a cop, as a decoy. So their plan is to call the police station, say, hey, we saw our officer has been shot. Someone please come and help. Then they shoot this guy who's not an officer and drop him outside of the van. And I'm just like, but why? You didn't have to do this. You could have left him alive. The police show up, realize that he's not one of theirs. And it's just like, you didn't have to do this. Once the police arrive and they realize that he's not one of theirs, they're still all there. You never needed to shoot that guy. Not even once. But somehow this stupid plan works. They shoot this guy for no reason, and every single police officer that worked for the Miami PD went to this location, leaving them open for Splinter Cell, obviously. What is on the front of this boy's face? This dude got a whole Nikon 5600 attached to the front of his face. All of that equipment that boy got attached to the top of his head, and this is how it looks when he's looking through it. All of that. What is this $14.99? Is that like the date that this ancient camera was made in $14.99? So they all infiltrate the building. They managed to find somebody that works at American Steel to help them weld off the door some kind of way. This is the security system? Look at this. Is that a red light on the bottom of the television? Look at that fan, bro. And this dude, Paul Blart. Look at him. He look like he ready to go home. How did you get hired? Bro come behind him with a syringe. You know you have got to be really out of it for somebody to sneak into a police department, break into the security room, and stab you in the neck with a syringe. Also, the vault looked like it was inside of this room. What room were they breaking into? Were they going in the back way? They should have kept the evidence inside of this room. It's more secure, obviously. They over here got they bike chains on this one right here. They come up, spray it with liquid nitrogen, mash it with a wrench, and they break into the evidence room. And what is this logo on the front? Is that a pineapple? Still $100 million worth of pineapple flavored heroin. Yeah, I'd be after it too. It tastes like pineapple. You want some of this? It's called Hawaiian Punch. So they set up like some sort of rapid repel system. That's pretty smart. Also, they were dropping the drugs down a chute that led right to the truck some kind of way. Is that Tom Cruise. Then they got this guy. He attached to the rappel system as well and shoots straight up. They destroyed their security breach system. Smart move. Here go Mike again with this doggone small car. For some reason, like, Marcus keep driving these trash cars though. I don't understand. Now I get it. Marcus is brown skinned. His wife is brown skinned. So they're gonna have brown skinned kids. But this little boy is toasty. Somebody's lying. Mike comes into the house, lays his lips on his friend's wife. I'm not understanding. And she say, Mike, don't kiss me. I don't know where your lips been last night. What? Do not kiss somebody else's wife on the face if you don't have to. Plenty of things you can do besides kiss somebody else's wife. Listen, I remembered that he had a daughter, but I didn't. Like, I knew he had a daughter in Bad Boys 2, but I just completely forgot about her in 1. I kept feeling like the daughter just popped out of nowhere and was dating people. They back at the PD. Man, Francine is so white. She's just white. Like, not soft white, off white. Just white. I get it. This is the crime scene. This is where the evidence was broken into. But what is bro doing back there? Is he stocking up vending machines? Hey, it's Captain Howard. What's up, Cap? I'm starting to get an understanding of why Cap was so upset. What is it? I don't understand why Retro was just like, a lot of the design and pattern choices was just, it was so bad. My thing is this. Wigs aren't necessarily mandatory. There's not a lot of states, if any, that requires you to wear it. So this was just simply a choice. Like, she chose this. And I'm just thinking, like, as a costume manager for the movie and the director, you probably could have found a better wig. Like, come on. 2 Latinos, and their names is Sanchez and Ruiz. Good Lord. So Mike is going to a boxing gym to find a escort that he's normally in contact with and ask her to kind of scope around and see what's going on, see if she heard anything, any guys trying to party. Okay. My thing is, I wouldn't necessarily want her to get involved. It's $100 million worth of pineapple Hawaiian Punch heroin. I wouldn't necessarily like try to get somebody that I wouldn't say necessarily innocent, but I definitely wouldn't want to get her involved. With that much money, people get killed quickly. Exhibit A. This guy was the guy that sold them the ventilation plans to allow them infantry inside of the PD. Gave them the whole layout and got a lot of money for it. And then, of course, they killed him. This is puzzling. How was there maggots on the outside of his shirt? I guess I get it. The way they killed this dude is weird. Did they kill him standing up, like slash his throat, and then lay him down across the desk? Did they lay him down and then slash his throat? Why does the blood look like cranberry sauce? Why is it so caked up right there if he's laying backwards? This was way before coronavirus. Also confusing. Okay, so these guys are detectives, and I'm assuming that becoming a detective isn't necessarily super easy, and you can't just become one just willy-nilly. You gotta work your way to it. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of crime scenes that these guys have seen, plenty of dead bodies that they have seen. You're stationed in Miami, but for some reason Marcus always get real finicky around dead bodies, like he's never done this before. That always confused me. So they leave that scene and they didn't get, the best of leads. Everything was sort of a dead end. So Marcus is already like, man, let's just give up. Like, we ain't got none. We ain't gonna find none. It's over. It's $100 million worth of pineapple Hawaiian Punch heroin. That's a big bust. However y'all got that had to be a huge sting to get that. Y'all just roll over and let that, what? Then he want to yell at Mike because Mike got some faith that they can get it back and they can get the job done. Like, what? Look at this bracelet this boy have on his arm. What dog does that belong to? Woof. Alright, so she's the madam of the escorts. That's cool. I get that. But boy, what is this phone? I'm pretty sure they had better phones. This is clearly from the 1920s. Also, what puzzled me is she's the madam over all the escorts or whatever. She said there's a guy that's been calling every 2 hours asking if there are any women in town. How many times has he called and why hasn't any women been dispatched to him? You got a guy that's willing to pay $2,000 for however many girls and you're slowful. This is a business where you're all about coins. Why aren't we getting the coins? She finally talks to Max about it and Max like, I don't know. Are you sure? Well, y'all do this for a living. What are we doing? This isn't new. She needs you to escort the ass. Another confusing part is Max is the escort supposed to go and do this job, $2,000, and decides to bring her photographer friend with her. Why is she here? I'm not understanding. Like, you're bringing somebody who's not in the same business into your business. Are you trying to recruit? Or will you just want her to keep you safe? What is happening? I mean, look at her. She even looks confused. She's just like, are you sure about this? You know, I've never done this before. It's my first day. And of course, they're there and she's obviously uncomfortable. Look at her. His breath probably smells like Listerine and Hawaiian Punch pineapple heroin. So in this scene, she's whispering in her friend Julie's ear, 10 minutes and we're out of here. And Julie's like, 5. Because she's ready to go. She's not supposed to be here. I'm not understanding why she brought her here in the first place. Also, take a look outside and see the lighting, if you will. In our very next scene, it gets significantly dark, even though this is seconds of men walking into the house right after their conversation. Seconds. She asks to go and use the restroom, which is cool. What are these bottles? What is that? Is that a potion? Pills and potion? These boys in here doing witchcraft. Bro done had already too much of the Hawaiian pineapple heroin. He's sweaty already. This boy got the pineapple Hawaiian punch heroin just sitting right here with a $1 bill crinkled up on the side. Like, dude, you got escorts coming over. Unless they're participating, they don't need to see all that. And of course, Boucher is pissed because he don't want to share the pineapple. Pause. Of course, he's a gentleman. He comes in, he greets Max. Hello, how you doing? Get to stomping in my Air Force One. What you got on, bro? A green suit with some forces. Bro was ready to shoot somebody. Boucher looking like, man, she fine, but I gotta do it. This is confusing because he got a weapon in his hand, and this weapon has no muzzle, is no silencer. This thing is for to be loud. What is the pillow supposed to do? What is the pillow supposed to do? Then he holds it up like this, and look at these two dudes. Like, they're looking like, man, that pillow ain't finna do squat. It's finna be so loud. Shoots her. And the pillow did absolutely nothing but just made a bigger mess. Look at all these feathers all over the place. Who's gonna clean this up? You still gotta live here. Of course, he shoots his own henchman right in the leg. Now we gotta have a parent-teacher conference with the boy. So they shoot bro twice. Look at these gunshots. Man, they eradicated bro. Also, this dude tells him in the next scene, like, dude, could you use a smaller gun? You got blood on me again. There is no blood on bro, unfortunately. That outfit still looks clean and lame. I didn't realize that boy had a mustard silk see-through lace shirt with a green suit and white shoes. She peeks through in an obvious way where they see her. You didn't hear that gunshot? Couldn't you have laid lower? Like, kind of be a little more discreet? They look right up at her because she's flickering right in the sunlight. Also, look at what time it is outside. Like, this lighting on here was just so confusing. So she makes a run for it. It's like 8:30 right now, maybe 7:30. And it's night. It went from 7:30 to midnight that fast. Or either this house is just that large where they've chased her for like hours on the roof. Then she climbs up here, looks down to what's a hotel pool. She's at least 9 to 10 stories high. At least. And decides, I'ma jump. And this is the way she jumps. Look at this, bro. Even if you rate at the pool, you're right next to the pool and you jump this way, you're probably still gonna die low key. Like, you could be right next to the pool, right next to the water. If you jump in this way, you're done. Look at how high up she is. She's over with. There's no survival. And of course she survived it. Alright, so this was confusing. So those 2 gunshot wounds that we had saw the back of the chair suffer because they killed the chair more than they killed him. How is their blood smudged upwards on the back of the chair? And it looked like somebody smudged it too. It don't look like splatter. It looked like somebody got a paintbrush and started painting. Come on, man. Like, just do better. No excuse, just do better. So the bad guys gotta track down the madam and take her out. She's at home. Nice bedroom. The bad guys is there and he shut off the electricity. She's still using these 1920 phones. Like, you deserve this. He walks in, his face is covered with a sledgehammer. Okay. Who uses sledgehammers anymore to get anything done? Anything. Construction workers don't even use sledgehammers anymore. He goes in, finds her, kills her, and then goes to the bathroom. What I'm trying to figure out is, you hit her with a sledgehammer with a long handle. Why are your hands this covered in blood? Whose hair is that on the ends? What did you do? Also, your DNA is all over the sink now. Michael got a tip that this was going down or they will possibly come here. So he decides to come in and investigate it. Cool. decides to call for backup while he's inside the house, loud as hell, instead of doing it from the car. You knew what this case was. You knew how dangerous this case was. Why wouldn't you make this call on the way there? Like, hey, I'm on my way to 22505 6th Avenue. Send me backup. But no, he had to do it right in here, loud as a mug. Hey, I need backup. Is anybody else here? Of course, the intruder, he heard him. But what was puzzling to me is he's still in the bathroom. He took his mask off, put bloody hands on the sink, and he's staring into the mirror. For what reason? I'm not understanding any logic right now as to what this boy is doing, how he's conducting any business. This makes zero sense. Zero. Then he turns to the side like, what is that noise? That's you screwing up a easy job. You had one job to do. Get rid of the madam. Then he decides to get some act right and put his mask back on, only to reveal to all of us that it's made of fishnet. You got a fishnet mask on, boy? Killing old madams at night, catching fish in the day. Mike eases his way around the apartment, and then, he finds the guy. And the guy hits him with the sledgehammer. Some kind of way he flies out of the window, lands on the ground, glass everywhere, and the killer is standing right there with his mask off again. Why is your mask constantly coming off? Why did you put it back on when you heard him hit him and then take it back off again? On top of that, Mike isn't dead. Mike is still there. He walks away, smacking him one time in the shoulder, it looked like, through a window, and then walks away. Why didn't you get rid of him? Why didn't you take him out right then and there? Huh? Okay, so this is Julie's apartment. Yo, she got a slick little place though. That is the biggest clock in the world. Wait, it's midnight. So I was right. They was fighting on the roof all the way until midnight. I knew it. Okay, so in this scene, she ended up calling the police department looking for Mike Lowry. That was the guy. That's who Max was saying that she would, the only person she would trust if she was ever in trouble. So of course she's going to call him. Of course Mike is not there. So Cap Howard and Marcus are the only ones at the PD. So Marcus got to pretend that he's Mike Lowry. What caught my attention in this scene though was how she was explaining things. When she got on the phone, she was just like, my name is Julie. I saw Max's killer. I need to talk to Mike Lowry. He says, hold on girl, hold on now, calm down. Now talk to me now. If somebody just witnessed a murder, that was literally the tone she said it. She was just like, my name is Julie and I just witnessed a murder. That's how she was talking. What was the point of telling her to calm down? She was already calm. She was like, if I don't talk to Mike Lowry, I'm going to blow tie. Why is she standing this way right now? It looked like she got a fart. She don't want Mike to hear it on the other end, or Marcus. She like, if I don't talk to Mike Lowry, I'm going to blow. So Marcus pulls up to go meet with her and bring her into his custody or whatever. And this is what he pulls up in. I just don't understand what advantage this has with anything in your detective life. Then he hop out, iced out, got a gold rollie on his arm and a chain on his neck, got a G-Tech watch. I'm just like, he got 2 bracelets on. Bro, stunting. Mike arrived at the place. She lets him in. He walked straight into the house and didn't look to see where the person opened the door from. What? Then turns around like, what you turn around like that for? You should have checked when you walked in. You got this stupid look on you. She's swinging the bat trying to hit this dude. She tries. He get the bat from her. But look at the door, bro. Look at this peephole. That's not a peephole. That's a I can see you hole. A vision hole. Look hole. Watch hole. Spy hole. Then the criminals arrive and they blow a hole in her door. The hole's still smaller than the peephole. A shotgun blast is still smaller than the peephole. They scramble and get away, so this guy decides to go up front to try to cut them off. And this is how he comes out the door. He looked like he's never held a weapon in his life. Look at this. Right in the middle of the night in Miami and nobody's suspicious. Got a dude in a green suit, mustard shirt, white shoes with a gun at the front door of a hotel. He sees Marcus and Julie running and decides to open fire at a bar. Let's just say that the police department in this entire movie, trash. God, you did not do the doggone hood slide. Here go the police, late as hell. Make it back to Mike's place, and this is the doorman's name. Chet, this boy Mike got hit with the sledgehammer, falls out the window, and then shows up back at the PD the next day with, I'm guessing that's a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos? I'm guessing since it's Cool Ranch, the cool is what he's putting on his neck? What? Doritos saves lives. Then he take the Doritos down and there's nothing there. Where did you get hit? Did he even hit you with the sledgehammer? Did you just fall out of the window voluntarily? You fell out of the window voluntarily. All right, so there's a few things wrong. Why are there 17 basketballs all over the place and a volleyball right there? Like, what child did you steal this from? Also, what type of basketball games are you guys playing where this happens to the wall? What? These are some intense games. This boy's shooting hoops with a cigar in his mouth. Bro got the scrunchiest pair of socks on right now. You know he finna miss every attempt. Bro look like a cheerleader from the 80s. Man, Captain Howard, like, you my guy, bro. But you know this your son, G. You know it, bro. Andrew from Worth It. That's his son. Alright, Cap, you gotta explain. Why is there one big drop of sweat right in the middle of his forehead, like a third eye? Then look at his mouth. Why are you drooling? You're drooling because you're trying to play basketball with cheerleader socks and smoke a cigar at the same time. If you put that cigar out, it could allow some ventilation a little bit. They purchased this chemistry set straight from Radio Shack. Is Radio Shack even around anymore? Boucher is upset because his drugs is taking way longer than expected, but he has them down in here in his underground bunker and there's moisture, so it's slowing up the process and he's getting upset. But it's just like, dude, we gotta give you drugs that can actually sell. I swear drug dealers be so impatient for the stupidest reasons and then rush it, can't sell it, and then want to shoot you for it. Ooh-wee. Look at that PC right there. Not sure how they managed to get this PC to look like it was made out of poster board, but all right. Is that Liam Neeson? In this scene, she complaining to bro about the fact that, you know, he's eating a bologna sandwich because it's made of flesh. So I guess she's vegan, so you know, go vegan. This is my first time ever like stopping this scene and looking at this. Bro name is Noah Traficante. I'm just trying to figure out how you managed to have a last name with the full word traffic in it. Look at the dates. This boy offense date was 4/13/94. Arrest date was almost more than 2 months later for cocaine trafficking, which of course he's going to be trafficking cocaine. His name is Traficante. Armed robbery, firebombs, sexual battery, grand larceny, and dealing stolen goods. This boy is out. This boy is out and about rolling with the gang in 1995. What? You did all of this and you still managed to get out the next year, rolling with the gang, shooting up public places? This scene that shows Marcus wearing one of Mike's shirt. Mike yells at him about it, but why did you make this particular hand signal or hand shape? What is this? What type of Illuminati stuff is this? God, why is your hair match your skin and your shirt and your skirt? So we back at Mike's place and there's a doorman, but some kind of way a naked lady in sheer clothing makes it through and has the key to the apartment. Huh? Marcus kicks her out, which is the smart thing to do. You have a material witness to a case linked to $100 million of pineapple Hawaiian Punch heroin being stolen from an evidence room in a police department. The last thing you need is some random chick showing up at your house. And he upset about it. So they gotta go to this club because we couldn't think of any other name. They already just showed him with the Illuminati hand or whatever he did. Now they gotta go to Club Hell? Oh, okay. The ether that they were needing to cut the heroin is inside of this truck in front of this club, right in front of everybody. And why? This boy decides he wants to smoke a cigarette in the truck like he's never heard of what ether is and what it'll do. It's ether! It'll explode, you dope! They got people wrapped in aluminum foil hanging upside down from the ceiling? Mark is over telling Mike, man, let's do what we gotta do and get the F up out of here. Smart man. But what is this young man in the background wearing on top of his head? It looks like a love seat. So the thugs or the gangsters, Noah, Traficante, and Boucher and the rest of them, they noticed Mike and Marcus when they were walking in. Some kind of way. I don't know how, but they did. And I guess they sent one of the goons into the bathroom, like they just automatically knew he would have to take a piss at this moment. Bro wanna be the Undertaker so bad. So you got the Undertaker next to him by the toilet. Then you got this guy pull up. He right outside the door. They got ample opportunity to grab this boy. So they did a good job. The Undertaker, he ended up throwing a plastic bag over his head. Okay. That plastic bag caused Marcus to drop the gun straight out of his hand. All right. But the other guy didn't walk up and stab Marcus 20 times with the knife that he had. None of that. He didn't pick up the gun. He stood there and allowed Marcus to climb up on the side of the wall and kick him straight in the face. Look at how he falls. What is with everybody and wearing these stomping in my Air Force One? Marcus grabs a paper towel dispenser and what? He hits the Undertaker with the paper towel dispenser and snatches the bag off his head, gasps for air. This idiot walks right past the gun, tackles Marcus from behind against the wall instead of just grabbing the gun and shooting Marcus. These are the stupidest criminals in the world. Picks him up and decides to scoop slam him into a fish tank? Huh? Naturally, water falls all over the place. He decides he want to slip and slide to the gun finally, but he can't shoot the gun because the safety is on. Then Marcus throws him into what seems to be the dirtiest toilet in the United States of America. Bro, these leftover drumsticks hanging from the ceiling is throwing me off. This part confused me a bit. So in this scene, Julie is across the room. She has a gun, grabs the gun, points it at Boucher, who's upstairs somewhere, fires the weapon and obviously misses. And Mike yells out, "Julie!" This guy grabs him for yelling out Julie instead of going grabbing Julie, who's shooting the gun. They cause a huge fight scene in the club and they all run out chasing one another. The bad guys hop in this here and Marcus and Mike hop inside of this. For why? Also, instead of them two chasing the bad guys are chasing them. Which is stupid because we got a truck full of ether. Gunshots are not going to be in our favor. This scene puzzled me. So he's in the back of the truck throwing out ether cans so that he can shoot the cans and possibly, stop the bad guys from chasing them. He throws one can. He throws another, then he begins to shoot the can to sort of cause an explosion, get the bad guys off their tail. There's a second explosion. Then the car finally catches fire, but I'm noticing that there's 3 other randomly laying around. What? She stops at the gas station to get shampoo. Animal cruelty free shampoo. Mike, of course, is at Marcus' house undercover and he's doing some surveillance and sees these idiots at a motel right across the street, parked incorrectly, sitting in the car. The name of this place is called Motels. There's not even a name. It's literally just called Motels. Marcus suspects something going on between Mike and his wife, so he decides to climb up the side of his house. There is nothing about this right here that looks like it's gonna work. There's nothing about this is gonna work that I feel about any of this. This is just stupid. This is an interrogation scene. The literal only thing they're doing is leaning on his shoulders and he gave them all the information. Here is a scene they're interrogating JoJo, but what's confusing about this is how many times this dude cocked the hammer back. So you hear one click from the hammer here. He pulls out a second gun on his own partner. You hear a click of the hammer there, even though it's not. Then you hear a third one here in this scene. And a fourth one. How many times did it take to get to the center of a hammer? The world may never know. We're supposed to be on a stakeout, and what is this? A Chevy Nova? Malibu? An old Buick? What is happening here, man? This is the worst logic ever. Y'all were there all night. He falls asleep. He's eating Twizzlers. So they follow the chemist back to whatever site Boucher and the other guys are at. He needs to get a better view, so he uses binoculars. Makes sense. But Boucher is looking directly at them. Like, she, who's a pivotal portion of this doggone case, is right there with them, out in the open. Look at how big these binoculars are. Of course he's gonna see y'all. You're not even hiding for real. Look at them. They're just sitting on the side of the road. Stupid as hell. This logic doesn't make sense. What boys these age are going to honestly be watching the news? Stop this. Once again, another person walks into Mike's apartment and just goes straight in. Idiot. This scene was stupid. Marcus's wife confronts him because he's been supposedly in Cleveland and he's not. And then she comes in and she sees her and she sees Mike, his shirt unbuttoned. She see a dog in the bag. I get it. What I don't get is Julie is an actual witness. There's no speculating as to what's going on. You've been in gunfights, you've seen drugs and all this stuff going on. You see these bad guys, you know there's a real situation. The wife doesn't. Julie decides she's gonna leave. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? You have no plan. You have no skill at fighting off anyone. Where are you trying to prove right now? Both of these dogs, ugly as hell. Marcus run to the elevator to try to talk to her like, hey, you know you trash. Not moments later, Boucher and this boy still got on them forces. Let it go. It's safe to say that everybody who's in this movie has came to Mike's apartment. These boys pull out their guns, but what is he doing? That boy on Twitter. He's on Facebook, Instagram. He's ahead of his time. In the midst of all this gunfire, they literally grab her and take her to the truck. These boys are in a Suburban driving terribly, my ass. Mike has no vehicle and decides to run on foot after this Suburban. Marcus decides, you know, I'm gonna join in with you. Who needs cars? Also, what type of run is this? It looked like he's skipping. On the good ship, lollipop. Why does this truck have the need to do this? There's no need for this. You're driving on this portion of the road for what reason? And then smash into a bus stop stand. Like, what? Runs into the back of a Ford Pinto, I guess. The car is smoking now, so we gotta hightail it out of here. Runs through a nail salon full of B. Arthurs. Bro had to get a James Bond moment in. So bad. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Y'all going to hell, knocking these wheelchair men over. So in this scene, they pull up to a taxi cab driver. I'm guessing they're implying that they shot him from the glass breaking on the driver's side and throw him out of the car. But I'm saying, y'all were trash at driving the first getaway car. What makes you think you're gonna do better now? And look how he lays on the ground. First of all, you get shot, I'm assuming in the head, and thrown out of the car. You laid down so neatly. Marcus still don't want to get into a vehicle and drive it, but I guess this is better than nothing. Once again, their driving is completely terrible. How is sparks flying right now, and whose trash can are you getting ready to hit? Gosh, this chase is so exhausting. This was unnecessary. The killers decide to make a phone call to Miami PD and call Mike Lowry's line. Hello? Yeah, this is Boucher. I'm gonna kill the chemist, and after that, I'm gonna kill the girl. But you chose to wear this though. Alright, so I'm confused. This guy, Eddie Dominguez, of course has an Hispanic last name, so his nationality his race is gonna be Hispanic. But you got Noah Traficante, and he's not? What is that? Italian? What? They had Noah listed as white male. No. So it's showing on this document here that Francine was Eddie's girlfriend, and I get it. They end up blackmailing her, telling her they were going to put some real embarrassing naked photos of her up at her kid's school on a bulletin board. You know, that's effed up. I get it. But you got to realize none of the police officers at the department are going to care. Like, you were aiding one of your own on an inside job, you know, doing all this bull crap. You know, it's just, nobody's going to care. That phone looked like a laptop. There is no way you're tracking anybody's phone conversation on this. There is just no way. These boys looking at a picture of cornbread on the screen. Y'all getting no work done. Nice suit. What? Whose Cash App card is that? What is with y'all infatuation and binoculars on this movie? Where'd y'all get those uniforms from? What is that? What does IWS stand for? I wish somebody would say something about my stupid looking uniforms. This scene was stupid because she's struggling to get out of the handcuffs, gets out, gets the car started, drives the truck, jumps out of it to drive it into some ether. It exploded and nobody was affected by it. No one. In the middle of a gunfight, Mike and Marcus decides we're gonna take cover behind a propane tank that says flammable and a 2 underneath. It was too flammable. This is too dangerous. Oh, I get it. The 2 was for the number of idiots taking cover behind a propane tank. Marcus does a police roll over to see her struggling. Boucher sees her struggling. What is she struggling doing? She's literally just standing in the middle of nowhere, just like, huh? The messed up part is before he get to turn around, he's looking right at her. Before he can even turn around and shoot her, Marcus flies out of nowhere like this. This doesn't look like it's going to save anybody. And it doesn't. Boucher walks over, shoots him in the leg, and walks away. We're in the middle of a gunfight. You're standing over him, shoots him in the leg, and the material witness who can put you guys behind bars is on the ground right next to him, and you walk away. These people don't make sense. Here go bro with his Air Force Ones again. Bro gets on a plane. Marcus sees him. He sees Marcus, and Marcus says, "You forgot your boarding pass." And then shoots a canister of ether and blows him up. But I kid you not, he stood there like this, holding the gun for at least 4 seconds. At least. Look at these two dudes flame grilled in the air. Like, my God. Boucher makes a cheeky getaway in his sports car. These guys make a cheeky chase in their sports car. Boucher, what are you honestly trying to do? You're on a runway and there's like obviously a dead end. Like, what is his plan? Marcus catches up to him, bumps him to the side. Boucher spins out of control, crashes into a wall. These two made it through the opening. They get out the car. Boucher is, I don't know, what is his plan? He's running around, he's staggering, he runs right in the middle of an X. Mike shot him and then he stumbles down and falls. And this is how he chose to lay down. And then finally, the entire police force finally decides they want to show up, and they all come in this way. Mike standing over him, got an easy chance to put him away, decides to bend down and get a little closer right in his face and doesn't pull the trigger. But he does have the hammer cocked back this time. That's a plus. Marcus convinced Mike, you know what? No, don't do it, man. He ain't worth it. He a joke. He a joke. Meanwhile, while he telling them how much of a joke he is, this dude pulls out a 4-piece pea shooter. Mike sees the obvious glare on his face and finally cooks him right in front of everybody. A lot of the decision making on this movie just pisses me clean off. Marcus looking like, dang, you did the right thing killing them. Yeah. And we reach the end and everybody's covered in flour, obviously. I gotta say, this movie is definitely a classic in my opinion, but it is a lot of things that in this movie were aggravating as hell to me. Oh, goodness. That is it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know if it's a movie you may want me to review. Maybe I can get my hands on it and check it out. And I will catch you guys soon. Peace.